I'd like to welcome you to the Nicholas County Board of Education special meeting, Monday, April 28th, 2025. At this time, please stand for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. Please join the board with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, action items. Discussion with possible action on the appointment of Mr. John Stats to fill the unexpired term of board member, Mr. James Stephen Ferguson. So, it's not really the unexpired term because Steve's term expires in 3 years. And this, he would, if Mr. Stats would want to continue, he would have to run in the spring of May election. So this is, it would be to fill the, until June 30th of 2026.
Have you talked to him?
Have I talked to Mr.
Yeah.
Stats? Yes, he's
He's willing to take it.
willing and able. It's a formality. We have to vote on it. He cannot take his oath until he fulfills
Training.
the 7 hours of training, orientation. But I talked to the executive director today from Charleston, and if we approve him tonight, they'll set that up just as soon as they can.
If you can get it online, can you? He has to go in
I
somewhere.
think he has to go to the office. So is there any other discussion on? So right now, we're discussing possible appointment of Mr. Stats. Any, while you're driving, any questions or concerns or discussion?
I'm very pleased that he's willing to come to the board, so I think he knows a lot about our board, what we're doing, and, well pleased with him, so.
Okay. Mr. Moose, anything?
I'm fine. I'm
Okay.
very impressed.
If there's no other discussion then, do we have a motion to approve Mr. Stats as the board member that would take Mr. Ferguson's seat until June 30th, 2026?
Make that motion.
Mr. Berry makes a motion. Do I have a second?
You have a second.
Mr. Moose seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous. So I will call him after a while. I'll just keep you on the phone while if we lose you, then we lose you. Just discussion with possible action on the approval of the contract with Wilderness at the Smokies. And that's for Mount Lookout Elementary.
And that, was that an overnight trip? It was, wasn't it?
Yes. And
And we didn't find anything in the policies.
I found the policy, but it's old. And I knew at one time, I haven't paid much attention to the trips, you know, who was going where overnight and all, evidently, because, anyway, the old policy said that grade school children could not go out of state overnight. But it was from 1990. But I told you, I remembered. So anyway, later on, we will approve those trips, I'm sure.
Approve that contract.
So is there any discussion on that, approving that contract with the Smokies Resort? That's strictly between Mount Lookout and them, basically. Just has to run through us. Okay, do we have a motion to accept that contract with Wilderness at the Smokies?
So moved.
Mr. Moose makes a motion, seconded by
Second.
Mr. Green seconds. All in favor? Aye. Unanimous. C, discussion with possible action on the approval of the contract with the Panorama Education Incorporation. Dr. Lee.
It's me. This is a new piece of software that we've never had, and it will be for administrators and teachers. And what it does is it's a support for the multi-tiered systems of support. So it will pull the data from a variety of sources, including Weavis, and it puts it all together into like a student profile where the administrators can use it to track with all their tiered interventions, be it behavior, academics, social, emotional, whatever that would need to be. What they'll do is, once we get the contract signed, they'll actually go back and import this year's data, so that next fall, when administrators start using it, they'll have old data to be able to compare to look for trends. I've had stakeholders group review it, and all of the administrators and county office people that reviewed it think it's really going to save them a lot of time, because right now principals are tracking all of this by hand with Excel sheets, and they spend an immense amount of time on it.
And that's for disciplinary.
It's for
record.
everything.
All of
You
it.
can track discipline, you can track behavior, academics, all of it. The first year is a little more expensive because you're actually paying them to build their database and download all the initial information. But after that, the price will drop for successive years. And I'm taking it out of federal funds.
Any questions? If not, do we have a motion to accept the approval of the contract with Panorama Education?
I make that motion.
Mr. Berry makes a motion, seconded by
I'll second.
Mr. Moose seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion unanimous. D, discussion with possible action on the approval of contract with Swoop Construction, and that's for the Nicholas County Sewage Project.
Has anybody read this?
No, if you need a
No.
minute, you go ahead. That's fine.
Ms. Watson, do we know when the project will start?
I know that after they get this back, then Mr. Ferguson was going to set up a meeting with the contractor and the architect and ask to establish a timeline.
Time is of the essence.
Says from the start it'll be 150 days.
5 months.
Well, that's,
They always allow themselves a little bit.
They do. They do, just in case, time.
yeah, and also that they're not sure how much dirt that they may have to take out and reclaim after they take the concrete out, because we're unable to determine how much of it is bad.
That will involve taking up floor pad, the concrete
Yes.
pad at the school.
The kitchen,
In
yes.
certain areas.
It'll be very similar to what they did at Cherry River You know,
They'll probably
when we were
cut-
up there where they cut sections
Yeah,
out and they
right.
dug it out and they hauled it out.
Yeah, they did that at food tax, too.
His company is also working on the Glade Creek site, so they already have workers here.
In the area.
Yes,
That's one of the reasons they did it,
yes,
because
yes.
they already local.
What was their result, 1,000,003 or?
No, it was actually right under a million, like 925,000, not counting our architectural fees. I think it came to just right over $1 million, I think.
We'll still be within budget for
Yes.
the grant that we got and money that we put in as a match. We should, unless something crazy happens, this will come out under budget.
And I think there's even a good contingency bill right.
I don't think that the contingency is enumerated in this contract, but even if that does become an issue, we should still come in under budget.
Well, it's a much needed project.
Have you reviewed this contract?
Yes.
I guess it's a
That's good enough for me.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay, and do we have a motion to accept the contract with Swoop Construction for the
I'll
Nichols?
make the motion.
Mr. Green makes a motion, seconded by,
Second.
second by Mr. Berry. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion unanimous. Consent items, out-of-state travel request. So, these are the ones that we held over, well, the first two, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
we voted
Yes.
on,
yeah, those were the other.
we voted on them already, didn't
Do you
No.
want, do you want to
Tabled.
see?
No, we tabled them.
Do you want to see the itineraries?
No, I don't, I'm fine. I just didn't want to go against a policy if we had one in
No,
place.
I meant
Evidently, when, what's
Neola?
Neola, when we went with Neola, that went away, so.
I mean, we voted on the front page here.
Number 3, did we approve
well,
number
we
3
didn't
before?
approve the out-of-state travel request. We approved the
I
contract.
believe we did at the last board meeting.
Kevin Manning.
I know, I remember somebody, maybe,
Yes.
or
Yeah,
is there
the
more than
training.
one person that would
And
do
you know
that?
what, there might be, there are two JROTC.
Oh, okay,
Um,
okay, that might be it.
Well, the most we can do is approve it twice. I mean,
Not heard anything.
it's not going to hurt anything, so we'll leave it on there.
Some of these, like when it says 4 adults, 17 students, 5 adults, 11 students, 5 adults, I don't know how many students, 22. I know we set a limit of 8, I think, at least 1 adult for 8 students,
Well,
but it seems like an awful lot of,
what you have is, there'll be parents that'll go. When we used to do it at Panther Creek, there would be tons of parents that went ahead and they drove their kids, and then you met at the park and they still,
we don't pay for that.
no.
No,
Okay.
we do not.
So, and believe me, if you're in a park, you don't want more than 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah, but would those parents not have to be background checked?
That's everything.
I know to take their own kids, but they'll be around the other kids also.
Well, the kids that are on the bus is the ones we're responsible for, the ones that go with their
Right.
parents, that's up to them.
I'm still looking, we're responsible for all of them.
Well, I know what you're saying, but,
Yes, I know what you're saying.
you know, if, in the past, there'd be a kid that wasn't allowed to go on a trip, and, you know, you get to the trip and they'd show up, And it's a public place, so you know, you can't do anything about it.
These people have to be approved.
They would have been approved
They've
already.
already been approved,
As a
right?
chaperone
Yeah.
or volunteers.
The ones on this list, yes. And most of these, a lot of these are teachers.
You know, almost all of them are teachers.
Also, Mr. Moose, ever how many teachers are going to chaperone? That's a school trip, so the school will fundraise for that trip, and the school will be responsible for paying for the subs. So, I mean, if you're feeling like maybe that's a lot of chaperones going, the school's gonna reimburse if they need a sub when those people are not in class.
The sub, they're gonna pay for the sub and the people to go?
Right, if one of these teachers needs a sub while they're on this trip, then it's not gonna be a county expense, it's gonna be the school's expense with their fundraising money to pay for the sub that they needed to go on the field trip.
Generally, there's not that many that don't go, and the ones that don't go, a lot of times stay home. You don't encourage that, but that's what happens.
Right.
I think there's only like, what, 17 kids going? It wasn't a whole lot, was it?
Yeah, 17 going this month.
15?
17, you're right. Okay, now, Mr. Green, the other one on here is Zila, and it's a trip to Crossroads Social House, gaming, laser tag, et cetera, in Withfield, Virginia, May 16th. 22 students.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not everything.
It's not at all.
Not an overnight, five chaperones.
Good.
Okay, if there's no discussion on that, do we have a motion to accept consent items, out-of-state travel request 1, 2, 3, 4?
I'll make the motion.
Mr. Berry makes a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Mr. Green seconds. All in favor? Aye. Motion unanimous. Personnel.
Yes, we have a little bit of personnel tonight. We have it as presented, reassignment agreement, a resignation, a service substitute, and a professional substitute for next year, or for 29, actually. Extracurricular and summer employment.
The head middle school coach,
Yes,
which school was that in?
oh, Summersville
Oh,
Middle School.
Are the other places where we had resignations now being advertised?
They have been, yes.
They have.
And we're waiting on recommendations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, if there's no questions, do we have a motion to accept the personnel agenda as presented?
So moved.
Mr. Moose makes a motion, seconded by
second.
Mr. Berry seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Did I lose you, Mr. Green?
I had an eye there.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Weitzel. All right. Next on the agenda is we have to conduct some student disciplinary hearings. So at this time, we will need a motion to go into executive session.
Make it.
Mr. Berry makes a motion, seconded by
I'll second.
Second.
Mr. Moose, seconds.
Green second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Is this out here?
At 4:23.